Why buying gold is a bad idea from financeforsuccess.com. Buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. All over the televisions, all over the radio, billboards, you should buy gold. Goldline Direct, Goldline Express. All of these companies are trying to sell you gold. Um, if you don't diversify your portfolio, you're going to be left in the dust. You hear the horror stories and how the value of the American dollar is declining dramatically. The dollar is losing the value it used to have, and if you're not diversified, then you're going to be losing out on a lot of money. Gold's 10-year history. Quick lesson. Gold is trading at around $1,600 an ounce right now. In 2003, the price of gold was around $400 an ounce. It peaked in 2011 at $1,900 an ounce. Actually, it was $1,930 an ounce was the peak. Right now, it's back to $1,600. So there's been a $300 decrease in over 1 year. It's time now. But $1,600 an ounce, it's still trading at 4 times the value it was just 10 years ago. If you had invested in gold 10 years ago, you would have done really good. The value has quadrupled, as stated. $10,000 would look like 40,000, and 400% is not a bad return on your investment at all. But I still think gold is a bad investment today. 10 years ago, obviously not. Today, gold is. Could it be wrong? Of course. Truth is, no one knows. There's no crystal ball, no mathematical formula that can predict the market. If there was, I would be very wealthy and I would be living in Fiji right now. So why not? Well, here's my argument, and I welcome anyone to challenge me. Price of gold, I believe, is overinflated dramatically. Well, let's compare it a minute to the housing market, the housing bust, real estate bust of 2009. 1998, the average cost of a house was $178,000. 10 years later, in 2008, the average house price was $301,000. This is nearly a 70% increase in 10 years alone. Ask yourself, would the price of something go up so dramatically over 10 years' time? Was the value of the property really that much more, 70% more in only 10 years? Were 70% more families there to fill these houses? No, of course not. The real estate boom and the crash were the result of an overinflated market. Public perception challenged the market, overinflated the prices, people started running out, buying houses on subprime mortgages, and the market was great until the crash of 2009. Same with gold. The housing market went up 70% and crashed in a 10-year time frame. Gold is up nearly 400% in 10 years. Is it really 4 times more valuable than it was 10 years ago? Or is this another bubble? Why would gold quadruple in price if it wasn't so valuable? Well, that's easy. That's public perception. There's a lot of psychology that goes into the stock market and prices of international goods and services, as well as localized. Everywhere we look, we see the signs, the billboards, radio ads, television commercials, calling to buy gold. Gold's for sale. We hear family and friends telling us to buy gold because the American value of the dollar is decreasing. Let's take a minute and look at intrinsic value, which means the value of itself. Gold has intrinsic value, of course. After all, it is a precious commodity. But is the value in itself, the intrinsic value, $1,600 right now? 4 times what it was just 10 years ago? No. American currency is worthless. This is a big argument from the sellers of the gold right now, trying to get everybody to buy it. It's one of my most favorite comical arguments, actually. Robert Kiyosaki, I got a kick out of this guy when I first heard him. He's the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's been recorded as saying numerous times that the dollar is trash. And in his buy gold sales pitches, Kiyosaki gets paid for his conferences and book sales in gold, right? No, of course he doesn't. But he's getting paid with what he calls trash. Surely he doesn't accept trash for his work, right? And all these companies that are selling gold, how are they getting paid? If gold is so valuable and will be increasing so dramatically, thus in the future, why aren't these companies selling it? Why are these companies selling it? Excuse me. Why aren't they buying it? Wouldn't it be best for the companies themselves to be spending their own money buying gold as opposed to selling it? And think about this. Who's really getting rich from gold right now? Because it's overinflated, and it will be the sellers. The sellers, these companies are making lots of money off of selling this gold. For those of you who aren't aware, by the way, the United States American currency system is no longer on the gold standard. Our currency isn't backed and hasn't been backed by gold since 1971. Is the American dollar worth less than 10, 20, 30 years ago? Of course, absolutely. It is a depreciating value. But we have more dollars now. It balances out. Let me illustrate this for a minute because I hear this argument a lot. A gallon of gas, 1980, averaged about $1 a gallon. 30 years later, it was averaged virtually 3 times that, $3.18 a gallon. So the price of this commodity, a gallon of gas, went up about threefold in 30 years. The average salary in 1980 was $12,513. 30 years later, in 2010, the average salary was $41,673. Again, a little over 3 times the cost, or 3 times the value. It's virtually the same. We have more money to pay for the same good, which cost more, but it balances out. So we can tell grandma now to calm down. Yes, milk no longer costs a nickel a piece. That were the good old days. Remember, you could buy a brand new car for $1,000, and the prices are inflated, of course, but we make more. Daily wages are more. So the bottom line is, I think gold is a bad investment. Its price is overinflated, and there's a bubble right now, and this bubble is going to burst in the near future. The rich people are the sellers. They're the ones who are making all the money right now. Any comments, thoughts, suggestions? Please visit my site, financeforsuccess.com. If you have a legitimate argument, I would love to post your argument and your rationale on my site. Please let me know. Thank you.